Hello everyone, welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, and the focus of today's reading is going to be I think it's something like 24,000 federal employees that the judge has ruled that those employees were wrongfully terminated, and they need to be brought back. And not only do they need to be brought back like ASAP, ASAP, right now, don't, and I mean, it was like the list. If you read that judge's the list of like, it cannot be this, it cannot be that, you cannot do this. It's like you can't put them. The one that stuck out to me the most was you can't put them on administrative leave. And then what was reported was that Trump said, the administration said, oh, it's too hard to bring them all back, so we're just going to put them on administrative leave. No, the judge said you can't do that. So I want to look at the employees and, getting those jobs back. I also find it interesting that there's been two different judges that have had at least two judges that have had, rulings that have overlapped on this, and which has been like, you can't do this and you got to bring them back, but yet they're still doing it in other agencies. So that's kind of, like the Social Security agency, even though they've been told not to. So I want to look at that situation with that. So that's going to be the focus of today's reading, are the federal workers. Okay, so as always, this is for entertainment purposes only. And I want to look at the federal workers that have been let go. When can they expect to be reinstated? I mean, like actually, the courts have already reinstated them. I want to know, when is the Trump administration going to reinstate them? Complete with key cards, passwords, desks. There was reporting that maybe they didn't even have desks at some of the places. The place had just been trashed. So let's see. When are they actually going to be back at work? Okay. And just in case I didn't say it, for entertainment purposes only, disappointment, disappointment over what's lost. But this is a card. There's still hope. Okay, so the courts have ruled in their favors. So that there's hope there. So let's see where this goes from here. Definitely a lot of disappointment. Queen of Cups. These are people that provide a vital services for our country. Queens are going to be those nurturers. These are going to be the people that civilian workforce that keeps those programs going. That's what this is. And the disappointment around that. Okay, so that's going to be the heart of this. Unknown. They've been told one thing by the courts, but they are not seeing that from the Musk-Trump administration. You still have little Doge boys out there, wreaking havoc. They were happy that they got the ruling. Okay, so the base of this is, there's the happiness. You have, like down here with this Five of Cups, there's the disappointment, but there's hope, and they're happy with that hope, providing the service and needing those answers, needing, to just know what's going on. Page of Cups. This is my yes card. A lot of cups here. And so this is, of course, there's going to be a lot of emotions around this. This is also providing those services that I always say that make us, that makes a functioning society. Social Security, schools, hospitals, roads, all of it. All of it. Clean air, clean water, our national parks, just everything. And this is the energy coming in. Like, do we still have this? Do we still have these essential services and programs in our country? And what they're being offered, they're not happy with. So there's not been the movement that the courts have said need to happen. The employees here are still not seeing the judge's orders fully enacted. Okay. So when can and I will say time in tarot is really difficult. So let's just, I'll do a win on that, but let's just look at what can we expect over the next few weeks. What can we expect over the next few weeks? And while I'm shuffling, if you could just take a moment and scroll up and subscribe, I would really appreciate that. Also, like the video, thumbs up. So what can we expect with federal workers over the next few weeks? Coming together, messages, looking out into the future, and happiness. Okay, things come to light. Here you have the high priestess, which is, they can't see how things are working out. They've got the court order, but yet it's not happening. And here over the next few weeks, you get the sun card. Things come to light and of how they're going to proceed going forward. The lovers cards, coming together in doing the work, being allowed back into those agencies. Ace of Wands, big message. Okay. Going back to happier times. I would also say for a lot of these civil servants, this is like their life's work. This is those, the scientists, especially. This is their life dream. This is their life work. And they're not just going to walk away from it. Okay. They're not going to walk away from it. I did see, I will get to that card. You probably already know what it is if I just turned it upside down. So let's just real quick, and I'll put more cards out on what that is there's a lot of hope here. They've been told that, yes, you will have your jobs back. This is, yes, major messages, being able to, continue that life's work, doing what you love. However, the thing that you're going to have to get through first, and maybe this is what you've already been through, is this Tower card. I am so sorry. I was not expecting that card to come up. So this is I can't sugarcoat this card. It's a harsh card. This is just like literally everything falling apart and just breaking apart. And that's really, and if you're a federal worker and you're watching this video right now, you're in this card right now. This is exactly what you're going through with this. Now, the hope out of this card is, even though this is so harsh, the card that comes after this is the Star card. So this is like, we got to get rid of all this, all this nonsense from Trump to be able to do what it is you want to do. Your life's work here. So this is telling me that I wonder if they have messed those systems up so bad that they don't even know who it is. They can't, they took all that information off servers. God knows what they were doing with code, who knows. So I'll put more cards. I am not going to end this reading on the Tower card. I'm not going to do that to anybody. So what is it that this Tower card, what can we expect from this? Where is this going to go as it relates to the federal employees? New beginnings, new path forward after a lot of disappointment and waiting. Man. Okay. With that being said, with those cards that I got there on the Tower card, I'm looking here. Okay. A couple of ways that those can be interpreted. One could be that they're just hoping everybody goes and finds new jobs. That's one thing. Like they're dragging their feet because they hope that people can't last that long, because people they have bills to pay. They have bills to pay. And so that could be one thing. Like they're just waiting and hoping that they're going to drag their feet long enough to say that they hope that everybody just goes and finds another job. And so that's why they're dragging their feet on this. The other thing that I'm getting is that I don't know that they can. Like they've trashed these. There's reporting that, like there's missing desks. They don't have enough desks. They just kind of trashed the place. The Doge Boys, whenever they went in there, like they had a little frat party or whatever. So, and that Tower card's really harsh. What I will say is that this is not, I have never in any of these readings have I ever seen this being a long lasting situation. Not just the federal employees, like everything, our entire country. Like I don't see this long lasting. I see things being, kind of like, this is only going to go so far and it will stop, and we'll be able to put the country back together. Now when that's going to happen, that's let's see. Can we get, let me just ask real quick, when, and as I said, time in tarot is just, it's so hard. So when can we expect, something positive, something positive for the federal workers? Lady Justice has been quite clear. And you saw me shuffle. Lady Justice has been quite clear. And they're wanting this done immediately. Happy house, happy home, happy family. If I'm gonna, 4 weeks, 4 months, 4 days, at the end of this on the end card here, I will link back to a reading that I did. I think it was about the budget. I'll have to go back and look. I think it was about the budget, and I was looking at the federal employees, and I got that, the majority of people were going to get their jobs back. And I said, like in 2 to 3 months. And I always err on the side of caution when it comes to time. But it was like 2 to 3 days almost. I mean, it was really quick that those judges' rulings came out. And I was surprised because I didn't even know, kind of what was going on with how many court cases there were. So what this is saying is that the judges have spoken, and they are not messing around with this. They've been very clear. I mean, these two cards together is like the justice, the judges, like, what part of this did you not understand? And, happy home, happy stable home. This is going to be our government. This is like the services that the government provides for the people. We want those people back in place, and we want them now. It's that kind of, but I get the feeling like the Trump administration is just going to do that, that runaround like they did with USAID. So, I don't know. If you can hold out, if you get to go back, and that whole idea of just the trauma and the terror, they're just terrorizing the federal employees. So, they're hoping that you don't go back. That's what the Trump administration is hoping. They're hoping that you don't even want to go back. The courts are on your side, and they're saying, no, you will go back. You do have a job. And then the payments and that's all. I'm seeing, I don't think it's going to be any one thing. It isn't just the federal employees. It isn't just the payments. It isn't just, the court cases. It's all of it together that is really going to be it all comes to a head, and I see our democracy surviving. Let's put it that way. So with that being said, I always want happier messages out there of hope. I do think that, the courts have been very clear. And the Trump administration is going to continue doing what they're doing, which is, jerking everybody around and ignoring the courts. So that, while it feels very real for federal employees right now, that is the implications of a bigger picture, which is Trump's just doing whatever he wants and is ignoring the courts. And at some point, that is really going to come to that constitutional crisis. And us as a country will, for better or worse, we will get through this together. So anyway, thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate you spending some of your time with me, especially during these really trying times. It's like we've got the news, and then I like to say, come back here, and I will be doing readings kind of on some of that bigger stuff, just to kind of help unpack those, it's a very emotional time. And so, you get the news, come back here, and we'll kind of pull the curtain back just a little bit, just to kind of see what's going on, and see, where's our path forward? Where is that hope? Where can we find hope and move forward through this? So thank you for spending some of your time with me. Like, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next video. Thank you, and have a great day.